I am Anthony Michael Giarrusso, and I did an interview with God, and these are some, I don't know if this is all, I don't think it's all. These are some of the orders I received from God when I was interviewing God. So, I might as well call this part 3, and I wanted to do this kind of separately, so hopefully you've listened to everything else so far. If you haven't, please go back and listen to part 1 and 2. Hello, I'm Anthony Michael Giarrusso. I have done an interview with God, and also I am planning on doing more interviews with other entities as well. If you have any questions that you would like me to ask God on your behalf, please email me at wondersofAnthony@gmail.com, and I will ask God your question or questions, and I will put them in a different recording, and I will upload this recording with your questions. If you have any questions directly for me, please use the same email address, wondersofAnthony@gmail.com. I want people to know this for the future, because I really do believe I am communicating with the real God. But again, it's either A, it's all 100% true, B, only some of it's true with maybe some lies, or C, it's all lies. So keep that in mind. I'm just here observing and reporting what I got. So in no particular organized order, I'm just going to tell you these orders from God. Do not avoid the Christ. No blowing up people with explosives. No ripping humans apart. No writing stories about fake gods. No writing falsehoods about God. Oh, I just remembered something funny. So this is an interjection. I apologize. I know this is a bit choppy for people, but it's good information. The first order I got from God when I actually asked God what not to do, God told me, he could have told me, don't worship the devil, don't join the fallen angels. No, God told me, do not ever have orgies or group sex. Which is funny because I'm a virgin, right? So that's really funny that was the first thing that God told me not to do. I'll just reread God's orders, because again, they're not in order. It's a bit messy, but this information is really important. So again, don't have orgies, don't have group sex. That's the first thing that came out of God's mouth as a direct order to me as a virgin, which is hilarious. No avoiding the Christ. No blowing up people with explosives. No ripping humans apart. No writing stories about fake gods. No writing falsehoods about God. Don't fornicate to war. Don't kill a human, then rape the body. Don't chop up people or their limbs off and rape them. Don't Christ blaspheme anyone. Don't call them Antichrist if they are not Antichrist. Don't banish Christ from your heart. Don't defile your body with body modification surgery. Do not have sex with angels to create Nephilim. Don't tell people that Pharisees are above God. Don't turn your children into prostitutes. Don't die in a basement on purpose. Don't try to go to the forest or water if you die for the first 4 full moons because your afterlife body is not complete yet. Don't go to Christ and demand everything. Don't do what you don't want to do for Christ. Don't join the army that kills the good and innocent. Don't be a pet owner. That's what it says. You dirty pet owners. I know, I'm just kidding. I'm teasing. But that's literally an order from God. Do not be a pet owner. And I actually asked God later in the interview somewhere about the dog owners, and he said, no pet owners get into paradise. So if you're a pet owner, the best you can do is come back to Earth. Okay? That's an interjection. Bondage of humans so they can't escape is evil. I asked, how does God judge? God said, I judge by looking at what people have done and what they do when they are alive. Christ, the sign, knowing Christ, is always with you. If you join Christ in war against the fallen angels and the devil, I don't know. That's just what was written. It's not written in a way that makes a whole lot of sense, but it says, Christ the sign, which is knowing Christ is always with you. It says, if you join Christ against the fallen angels and the devil, that's interesting. If you are not picked to go to heaven, you will suffer with your sadness either on earth or hell. If you enlist to go to war with Christ against the devil and fallen angels, you come into paradise immediately as long as you qualify for being of my creation and none of the things I don't like. So that's what God's saying. So there's things that God doesn't like. But it does appear that if you do the things that God does like, and you fight with Christ against the fallen angels and the devil, that's probably going to increase your likeliness of getting into paradise. I think that's what God is saying here. Don't fly into a skyscraper. Don't eat the flesh of humans. Don't eat the Christ. Don't eat parasites on purpose. Don't use a curse to become a savior. Don't say the story is about Christians when it is not. Don't roadkill animals on purpose. Saviors stories. So savior stories like a savior, not savior like savior, like being saved by Christ. Savior stories must be complete. Let the tellers of these stories know. Stories of Christ must be accurate. Don't kill yourself for Satan. Don't kill yourself for Lucifer. Don't kill yourself. Don't go to the forest and force Christ on the forest. Tell the forest, some guys are after you, you the human, or myself, I guess. And you, or I don't know. Then it says the forest, in parentheses, need to destroy them. So it's like, I guess you have to ask the forest, if you're in the forest, I guess that's a different boundary than where we are, I guess. Then tell your disciples to do the same. Don't praise a horse for its flies. Don't call out to the sea that you are killing it. Don't call the sea, ocean, or any body of water a killer. Do go to the Savior and say, yes, you're going to save us, and you're going to get us out of here. Do go to the Savior and say, you will be a servant to Christ. Do say to the Savior, you are a born force. Do go to the Savior and say, save them all. I asked, what are intentions that all humans to go to heaven? And then God replied, we march all off, you and go forth and find a place to rest. Say hello to your fellow ghosts. Say welcome and greetings. Go forth, save your foreign fellows of police of the groin. Shall not tell you how to mate. However, be policed to mate with humans only. You should not be policed of what to mate with or with who, as long as they are humans. Alright, so that's a little confusing of a verse. God shall tell you. Tell them not to worry about mating. No mating with God, angels, abominations, or anything not human. That's what God told me to write down. Alright, on this page it says, help the people who listen to you. Tell everyone that they were safe after the calamity. Or, I think that was supposed to be written like, tell everyone that we are all safe after the calamity. I think that's what that meant. Now, I asked God, should humans collect anything? God said, collections are not needed for heaven, and do not need to collect anything while you are alive. Yeah, I did do this one, so that's in one of the other videos. Oh! Some of these are going to make you laugh. But I'm going to save this for part 4. So I'm just going to stop here and make part 4.